CityCast as we continue to bring you story from all across the country. I'm Prashita Marvania.
I am Sejal Seth, and here are the headlines. Need for keeping a check on oxygen level increases. Vaccination centers shut in many states. Lakhs of residents and just one CT scan machine in Pithoragarh.
More young people are dying because of decline in oxygen level. Our reporter Amna tells us why it is crucial to monitor oxygen level.
Many COVID-19 patients are dying because of happy hypoxia. It is the leading cause of death among young people. In Bihar's Jawaharlal Nehru Medical College and Hospital, more than 30% of youngsters died because of this condition.
ओवरलुक करते हैं क्योंकि और कोई सिम्टम अगर नहीं रहता है, हल्का फुल्का बुखार हुआ तो उसको ओवरलुक करते हैं कि कुछ नहीं है. द टाइम दे रीच टू द हॉस्पिटल देयर सैचुरेशन इज लो, वो हो जाता है काफी 60%, 50%.
The drop in oxygen level is instant and patient becomes unstable, but the youth seem to be unaware of it.
I have no idea what this term means. While I was suffering from COVID, I had very mild symptoms. I checked my oxygen for 6 days maybe, and then once I stopped having symptoms, I checked it maybe once a day.
Hypoxia is a warning signal for the failure of functioning vital organs like kidney and heart, leading to breathlessness followed by fatality. Normal saturation level of oxygen is above 95% for a healthy person, but in COVID conditions, the level drops down to 50%.
In all COVID-19 cases, lungs are involved, so there is a risk of the oxygen saturation going down. So every single COVID-19 patient is recommended to test their oxygen saturation level.
Experts suggest a constant check on the oxygen level would help the patient and doctor in detecting the critical conditions. Any careless approach can take away lives. This is Amna Karimi reporting for the CityCast.
Vaccination drives have come down due to a shortage of vaccines across different states. Our reporter Roshni Nair tells us more.
As more than 10 states turned to international markets to procure the vaccine, several states like Karnataka and Kerala were forced to shut down vaccination centers due to vaccine shortage. In many states, the CoWIN app refuses to accept OTP and stops functioning. Vaccine shortage continues in Kerala as the state only receives a fraction of the vaccine it needs. The state has stopped vaccines for 18 to 45 age group even after registering. Kerala received its first batch of 3.5 lakh doses of Covishield on Monday. The state directly procured the consignment from Serum Institute after the centre's new vaccine policy. Vaccination for 18 to 45 age group will take place, prioritizing those suffering from serious diseases and those interacting with people on a daily basis like delivery boys and sales staff. Meanwhile, in Karnataka, BBMP officials have said the state needs 3 crore vaccines and the demand for the same has been submitted. Priority is given to those who need the second dose and those above 45 years of age. In other states like Delhi, 100 vaccination centers administering Covaxin to 18 to 45 age group have been closed due to shortage. The centre has permitted states to individually apply for global tenders to procure vaccines internationally.
Staying with the story of vaccine, citizen in Pune complains vaccine slots are filled despite the vaccine being available. Our reporter Arpita brings us the story.
A sting operation done by few health activists in Pune shows that CoWIN registrations are full before the centers open. The activists claim that the slots get booked 30 to 40 minutes before opening it to the public.
See, it is the local administrators who update the app as and when the vaccine is available. So these officials give vaccine to the family members and then update the app saying slots are full.
Pune Municipal Corporation health official Mr. Rahul Gadwe says that there is some glitch in the app and it is not possible for anybody to manipulate booking, and they are looking into the matter. As citizens wait for their turn to get vaccinated, the officials are yet to figure out the loophole in the system. I am Arpita J. Kumar reporting for CityCast.
Resident doctors and Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation tussle in Mumbai over unpaid dues. Our reporter Sinchita Mitra talks to the doctors.
Resident doctors in Mumbai are owed more than 1 lakh each as BMC does not pay them the promised increment. They were promised an increment of Rs 10,000 per month a year ago. However, they are still receiving their initial stipend, not the increased amount. More than 5,000 doctors have not received their dues. Resident doctors say that Rs 1.2 lakhs is a huge amount, especially since they still have to pay their tuition fee and house rents.
रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर काम कर रहे, उनके लिए यानी उनका काम पैसों में तोला ही नहीं जा सकता. लोग जान की बाजी लगा के काम कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि किसी अगर रेसिडेंट को इन्फेक्शन हुआ तो वो उसके जान पे भी आ सकता है. और हमारे भी फैमिली है, हमारे भी घर वाले लोग हैं, लेकिन हम सब यहाँ पे काम कर रहे.
Maharashtra Government Minister Aditya Thackeray tweeted that they are looking into why this discrepancy happened. He further stated that they will clear off the dues in the coming weeks. However, no written circular by the BMC has been issued yet. The resident doctors also want the BMC to waive off their academic fees for the year. They say that no education has happened over the year as they were on COVID duty. The Maharashtra Association of Resident Doctors say that the BMC should give them a written promise that the areas will be cleared within the next 15 days.
एजुकेशन मिनिस्ट्री हो, मेडिकल एजुकेशन, तो उन्होंने सीएम से बात करनी चाहिए और ये मसला थोड़ा सा और सॉल्व करना चाहिए. लास्ट में तो नॉन कोऑपरेशन ही आता है ना, कोई भी आंदोलन का वही ये रहता है चेहरा.
The association says that they will keep on protesting till they get their money. For now, they are planning on going on a hunger strike till their dues aren't cleared. This is Sanchita Mitra for CityCast.
We will be right back with more health stories. Stay tuned.
Nearly 5 lakh resident in Pittorgarh depends on one CT scan machine. Our reporter Kanishka Kohli tells us what the increase in demand for the service means to them.
Doctors are recommending CT scan to patient to help with the treatment of COVID. However, there is only one private CT scan facility available in the city, which is under a lot of burden.
50% मान के चलो बड़ा. Government is paying for all the CT scans that has been done of admitted patients only.
The nearest facility to get a CT scan other than Pithoragarh is Hildwani, which is 6 hours away. With no price cap imposed on private diagnostic lab in Uttarakhand, the rate of CT scan is different in every district.
कोई सफाई का इंतजाम नहीं था, कुछ नहीं था. मतलब किसी का हाथ सैनिटाइज नहीं करा रहे थे. 1.5 घंटे की मुझे लाइन में लगना पड़ा. उसके बाद मेरा नंबर आया. नंबर आने के बाद उस दिन उन्होंने रिपोर्ट नहीं दी, उसके नेक्स्ट डे report.
World Health Organization has recommended the use of CT scan to clearly diagnose the presence of COVID-19. Doctors say CT scans are done to get a clear idea of damage and infection on the lungs of patients.
Okay, yeah. That is why all these patients who are all suffering, many of these people have not done proper investigations or started treatment at the right time. That is why you see all these people having being hospitalized and in critical condition and all that.
Doctors also say CT scan is usually prescribed when patient is not recovering after a week of disease. Else it is not mandatory for all. This is Kanishka Kohli for CityCast.
Agency reports show multiple bodies buried on the river bank of Ganga in Unnao district of Uttar Pradesh. The bodies were found wrapped in saffron cloth and buried in sand. The report mentioned how recent events have sparked fears among people about the rising deaths in the country. The district magistrate of Unnao, Ravindra Kumar, says the bodies are not of COVID-19 patients only and investigation is ordered. He adds such burials are traditional and not uncommon and may not be related to COVID deaths. Earlier, over 40 decomposed bodies of suspected COVID-19 were found floating in Ganga in Buxar district.
Karmikas who are frontline worker in Bangalore demand safer working condition. Let's go over to the reporter Puran to understand why.
Parakarmikas are frontline workers and at a constant risk of contracting the virus. In the last 3 months, more than 10 sanitation workers have succumbed to COVID-19. The Parakarmikas are demanding better medical assurance and hospital beds. The association says that promises made by the BBMP are just on paper with no implementation.
Madam, last week sanitize ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಬರೀ ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಗ್ಲೌಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಕೊಟ್ಟವ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ನಿರ್ಲಕ್ಷ್ಯವಾಗಿದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಸುಮಾರು ಸಲ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇದೀವಿ.
Last week around 150 sanitation workers staged a protest demanding safety assurance from the BBMP. The protest took place in Banaswadi when one Parakarmika died due to COVID-19 after being admitted to a hospital for 3 days. Sanitation workers since then have received some safety gear, but it is not enough.
ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರು ಹೆಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಸಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಕೈ ಗ್ಲೌಸ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸು ಅದೇನಿಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡಿ, ಇವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ 13 ತಾರೀಕು ಇನ್ನೂ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ.
In 2020, when the pandemic first hit, 30 Paurakarmikas lost their life to coronavirus. According to the association, more than 500 have tested positive for the virus. There are still no reserved beds for them in hospitals, and RT-PCR testing has also stopped, says the association. However, the BBMP officials say that they have helped Paurakarmikas in every way possible.
Whatever they requested, they have all done, madam. We have given sanitizer, we have given uniforms, reserving certain beds for them in the hospital. For 20 to 30 beds in prestigious hospitals.
Currently, there are 18,500 Paurakarmikas in Bangalore. There is an immediate need to think about the welfare of these sanitation workers and implement policies on ground. This is reporter Puran Chaudhary for CityCast.
A COVID helpline list released on 7th May can now help any patient with their COVID-related queries. Our reporter Sanchita Mitra tells us more.
Federation of All India Medical Association launches a COVID helpline list. The list has the name and numbers of 31 doctors from all over the country for free COVID consultations. These doctors are mainly from Delhi, Mumbai, Madhya Pradesh and Haryana. One can also call the numbers to ask for guidance or information for available ICU beds or oxygen cylinders. FIMA receives more than 500 calls per day from patients in the last 1 week. The president of FIMA says they came up with this helpline as some patients have mild symptoms but do not know what to do.
This was the main idea to decrease the workload in the hospitals. People have symptoms, they can call us. Few of us have given 24/7 time.
While any patient can call up any time, FIMA urges patients to call only in times of emergency. If they have any other queries, then they can WhatsApp the doctors.
We'll be back after a short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Newer lockdown restrictions target the small villages, laborers and their livelihood. Our reporter Piara Singh tells us more.
The daily wage contract-based laborers in Samrala and nearby cities are searching for work, but the curfew restrictions and the spread of virus have pushed them to a corner.
काम की तलाश में काम हमारा बहुत ठंडा चल रहा है। 1.5 महीने से तो बिल्कुल बेले बैठे हुए हैं। दिन में पहले कमा लेते हम 400 रुपया, अब वो 2 से भी नहीं कमते हैं। 2 से कम गए ना कमे, ऐसे ही बेले बैठे रहते हैं हम तो जी।
The building material stores have also seen a decrease in their sales, with customers fear of going to the shops to purchase the required materials in order to build a house.
ਦੁਕਾਨ ਬਾਰੇ ਸੁਣ ਲਓ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ, ਦੁਕਾਨ ਦਾ ਜੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇ ਅੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਹੋ ਹੀ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ। ਅੱਗੇ ਦੁਕਾਨ ਖੁੱਲੀ ਸੀ, ਗਾਹਕ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਆਪਣੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਨਾਲ ਸਮਾਨ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਚਲਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ। ਹੁਣ 12 ਵਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਲੋਕਡਾਊਨ ਦੁਕਾਨ ਖੁੱਲਦੀ ਆ। ਕਿੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਦਿਹਾੜੀ 'ਚ ਲੋਕ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਵੀ ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੀਮੈਂਟ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਾ। ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਆਊ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਗਾਹਕ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ।
Even the contractors who used to employ these laborers for the building of homes and other things are now facing shortage of workers since most of them have gone back to their states.
लॉस आया जी, काम बहुत घट गया होना जी 40% का। आम मजदूर बैठे ने पंजाबी बंदे का नहीं चल रहा, बहुत कम है, घट तो घट है।
Since the government has imposed these curbs, the contractors and laborers are suffering from the fate of lack of work. This is Pyara Singh signing off for CityCast.
Does Kuchokki start teaching online to make ends meet amidst the COVID second wave? Our reporter Pratika Rana brings us the story.
Disco jockeys are also bearing the impact of the second wave. As all pubs and bars have shut down, they have no way of earning their livelihood. Families planning weddings are also keeping low-key due to government restrictions and not hiring DJs. Artists are now moving to teaching virtual classes for DJs.
I think last year we started trying to get business through online, but right now the business is like waiting. See, I take 1 student per batch. So online it's very difficult to make anybody understand.
The involvement of a teacher and a student with the DJ console was considered to be a must for practical learning. The students find it hard to adjust to the changing restrictions amid the pandemic.
I have taken both physical and virtual classes and I can tell the difference. Earlier, it used to be more fun because we used to go to events and see people dance to our beats. Now, even though the teachers are trying their best, we do not get that hands-on experience of a live DJ show.
Experts believe that online teaching is situational and has been imposed on students and learners alike. They think that things will eventually take time to settle down.
Now, future of DJing, I'm not very sure, to be honest. If COVID is not there, everything is going to go back to normal because people really need to party. They can't sit at home and they can't party. You can't ever get a club environment at home.
Experts believe that as everything is moving online, disco jockeys should also adapt to those changes. This is reporter Atika Rana signing off for Citycast.
On account of Eid, Kerala government allows meat shops to open till 10 p.m.
As Kerala celebrates Eid today, the Kerala government has extended the timing of running the meat shop from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. They have, however, not allowed all shops, nor have they allowed prayers in mosques.
Because of the lockdown, the masjids are closed, so we did the prayers sitting at home.
Even though there was an extension for running the meat shops, people say that this year's Eid will be different owing to the pandemic.
ഞാൻ ബീഫ് വാങ്ങാൻ പോയിരുന്നു. ഇപ്പോൾ ഈദായിട്ട് എന്തായാലും മീറ്റ് വേണമല്ലോ. അപ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങൾ പോയി രാത്രി എക്സ്റ്റെൻഡ് ചെയ്ത് ടൈം അതുകൊണ്ട് കിട്ടി. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കിട്ടൂല, കുടുങ്ങിന്നു.
They also say that since the authorities have asked to have a safe Eid, they miss the usual hustle bustle during this time, also missing on people and the spirit of the festivities. Kerala is celebrating a low-key Eid this year, and not only Kerala, but other states are also going to celebrate Eid tomorrow in a similar manner. Wishing you all a Eid Mubarak, I am Arpita Jaykumar signing off for the Citycast.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to check our online publication citycast.in for more such stories.